You're watching the Highlight Zone with Wayne 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
After losing by 1 point and a chance to redeem ourselves.
So, everyone's locked in. Everyone wants to perform well.
You don't play well, you don't win, you don't play anymore. That's motivation enough.
See it first in your mind and see it on the field second.
They're playing very hard, very tenacious. If we're not at the peak, we're close.
Playoffs and just win or go home. You have to focus on every detail.
Well, it is a lot nicer here in the studio. Pretty warm under these lights, but it was certainly a bit nippy out there tonight. The action, however, on the Highlight Zone is just heating up. One of the busiest nights of the year. We're talking sectional semifinals. We've got 16 games to get to, and we start with some very familiar foes. Andy McDonnell joining us now with your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. Andy.
Thank you, Glenn. Casual Friday. I didn't get the memo. It may have been the best game we saw all regular season. Back in week 2, Snyder edging Carroll by just 1 point thanks to a partially blocked PAT late in that fourth quarter. Would there be a repeat or redemption tonight at Spooler? Carroll at Snyder in sectional play. Your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. This is the 6th matchup between these two teams the last 3 years, excuse me. Chargers been eliminated in the past 2 seasons by the Snyder Panthers. Early on, a little trickeration from Carroll, Jeff Becker, Leighton Mitchell. That evens game up at 7-up. And watch this one. Gem of the Week nominee, scrambling around, still scrambling, trying to find a hole or a seam or just a wide open man. Can't find anybody until he lofts it up. There's the man, Tyler Morrison, in the back of the end zone. It's 28-10, Chargers at the half. But the Panthers, Snyder would not go quietly into this night. Lenny Bennett up the middle, 55 yards to pay dirt. 2 quick scores by Snyder. It's 28-24. They're back in the game. Undaunted, though. Becker at it again. He'll drop this one in again to Morrison. 35-24 in favor of Carroll. Bennett, though, and the Panthers come right back down the field, gets in the end zone one more time. 35-31, still in striking distance for the Panthers. But once again, that man, Becker, scrambling around, eluding a sack. He'll find Mason Englert. Becker, 5 TDs through the air, 1 on the ground for 6 total. It's 42-31 after 3. And that's when the Chargers, they need it most. The defense comes up with the play. Craig McGinnis seals it with the INT late as Carroll, they go on to beat Snyder in a big way. 42-31, the final.
Linemen, they give me really good protection when I'm coming across. They block the guys that are trying to chase me. So once I get that block, and then I just look downfield and I know my receivers are going to be open, so it makes it easy on me.
I mean, what's going through your head at that point? Because you've been up for 6 seconds after the snap on that play. What's going through your head? Is it no, yes, or what's going through your head?
A little bit of both. I don't really want to throw an interception, but they look open to me, so I just throw it.
I just saw Jeff run around. I was just like, I don't know what he's doing, so I just sat in the end zone. I was just like, hopefully he throws it.
He's a great athlete. I love him. He's a fighter. He's a competitor, and that's why I love having that quarterback. He'll give everything he has every night and make sure that we come out with a win.
So who will Carroll meet for that sectional championship? For that, Glenn, back to you.
All right, Jeff Becker making a statement tonight, as were the Carroll Chargers. Homestead making the long drive to Noblesville to take on a Millers team that only had 1 win on the season, but they played a pretty good conference, and this was tough early on. Matter of fact, tough all game. You saw the fumble right there. Noblesville recovers. They were already up 7-0 were the Millers, and then it's Elijah Butler, and the Butler did it. 57 yards to the house. Noblesville shocking Homestead up 13-0. Luke Goodney, though, gets this team rolling. It's Camden Rogers, the future Miami Red Hawk, picking up the first down. Then Jake Archbold would haul in an 18-yard touchdown reception to get Homestead on the board. This one went to overtime. Homestead gets a gunner fly field goal to win it. Homestead survives on the road at Noblesville, 24-20 in OT. We got Carroll at Homestead next week. smells like a game of the week to me. Well, reigning 4A state champ Bishop Dwenger making its foray into 5A. The Saints at Northside. This was 36-zip earlier in the season. Matter of fact, that was week 2. Second quarter, a lot closer. 13-7 Saints. Patrick Finley. They call him the human cheetah, and he was spot on. 54 yards, 21-7 Saints, but Mike Brevard's team had no give up. Later, though, that Dwenger D, Jordan Watercutter. I must say, the kid is underrated. A nice high school football player. He gets the sack. Northside with the D here. Austin Chapman gets the interception. And when you get a turnover for the Legends at Chambers Field, you get the turnover chain. Yeah, they would take advantage. Deuce Taylor swinging it out to Jordan Turner. Turner makes the first guy miss. You saw it. He's in. Northside puts up a fight, but it's the Saints winning at Chambers 35-22. So who does Dwenger get next Friday night? Northrop making a bit of a drive to face the Goshen Red Hawks. Dylan Hoot at the quarterback position for Jason Dorfler and company, and Hoot can scoop. He's up the middle on the QB keeper for a first down. Led to a field goal by Tarek Bajarnik. 3-0 Northrop in the lead on the road in the first quarter. Second quarter, Hoot looking to his number one receiver, the big guy, Quaylen Pettis. Somehow he comes down with it in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. It was 10-zip Bruins, and Northrop goes on to win 24-6. We got Northrop at Dwenger next week for a 5A sectional crown. In 4A, what a matchup on paper. Undefeated East Noble and 8-2 DeKalb. The Knights beat the Barons 35-7 in week 4. East Noble, we thought this was going to be closer. We get there at halftime. East Noble's already up 35-0. Third quarter, Noah Zabalatny with the tackle for loss. And then in the fourth, East Noble's offense just putting the icing on the cake. Justin Marcellus muscling his way for the first down. And then Bailey Parker, the senior QB, to Nick Munson. And East Noble with a dominant performance, 42-14 over DeKalb.
Just a team effort, all week we've been working on their defensive fronts, studying them, and our line came out and dominated the first drive. Wide receivers making good blocks, and then some good runs by Marcellus and good catches by receivers like Gage Hayden and Nick.
So who will East Noble play for a sectional crown? We got 10th ranked Leo hosting number 14 Northwood. Peyton Wall. Been doing it all season long. He had 204 yards rushing on the game. Got Leo into field goal territory, but the Lions trying to even it up. Unfortunately, the field goal, they say no, and Northwood led 3-0 at that point. Later in the second, Jackson Barber picked off by his fellow QB / defensive back Nate Newcomer. And actually, Northwood led this one 6-0 at the half. All the Leo highlights came in the second half as the Lions come back to win it 10-6. So we got Leo at East Noble next week for a sectional crown. That should be a great one up in Kendallville. Other 4A sectional with some local teams involved. Sectional 20 has New Haven hosting a Marion program that made it to semi-state last year. First quarter, Khalid Stamps, 19-yard scamper for the touchdown, and Marion up 7-zip. They would add a field goal to make it 10-zip now. In the second quarter, Jamar Hutchins making plays on defense. He gets the interception and takes it deep into Marion territory, but it was a 10-zip Marion lead at the half. Third quarter, a little trickeration. How about this? Jakar Williams to Hutchins to Najee Fields-Lewis. Trick-or-treat in New Haven was yesterday. They had some left over apparently, but unfortunately not enough juice for New Haven. They fall in this one by a final of 27-12 to Marion. The same sectional, different location. Huntington North beat Southside last week. Their reward, the Vikings hosting a 9-1 Mississininewa squad. Start of the third, Mississininewa up 23-3. And, well, that's Cade Campbell, and Campbell is good. It's 30-3. Mississininewa out in the lead. Craig Baum later in the fourth. He's already got one field goal on the game. Might as well make it two. My man Aiden Hostler boots this one through. Made it 30-6, but that would be your final as Huntington North season comes to an end with a 30-6 loss against Mississininewa. Well, the bigger classes are in the books, but after this time out, we got some big games in the smaller classifications. In 3A, West Noble looks to stay undefeated. They took on 4th-ranked Mishawaka Marion in Ligonier. Lures in 2A looking to dominate again, but Would conference champ Eastside have something to say about that? We got the highlights and post-game reaction from that one. And in 1A, South Adams trying to make a run to Lucas Oil Stadium. Would Monroe Central get in their way? Those games, Concordia, Tippy Valley, Fairfield, South Adams, Northfield, and Adams Central. We got it all coming up next after the break.
It's sectional time! Win or go home. Go Big Blue, we got this, baby! Stay tuned for the highlight zone. We are NHS! Here in the Summit City! It's down to the nitty gritty. We're the Concordia Cadets. Welcome back to the highlight zone!
Well, at Zollner Stadium tonight, it was an age-old case of unstoppable force meeting immovable object. Concordia's offense, that unstoppable force. They scored 42 last week at McConaughey. Norwell's defense, the immovable object, as the Knights posting a shutout last week, their third shutout of the season. Something would have to give in this 3A Sectional 27 showdown. First score action, it's Norwell driving, and oh yeah, you know, Norwell was supposed to be the team with the defense, but it's Jalen Vanderbosch. He picks it at the 15 and he goes all the way. Vandy with a dandy 85 yards on the pick six, and the Cadets up 7-0 and feeling good. How about more defense? This time it's Norwell. Mason Dehoff with the interception, and that would stall, or rather stop, a Concordia drive. Second quarter now, Eli Riley to Luke Graff. It gets into the red zone, but Norwell would miss a field goal, and that would come back to haunt him because Concordia wins it by a field goal. 17-14, we got Concordia at Peru next Friday for a sectional championship. Staying in 3A Sectional 26, one of the best matchups in the state on paper. 7th-ranked West Noble hosting number 4 Mishawaka Marion. First quarter, West Noble's Jew Martin Garcia. He gets the pick, and West Noble in business deep in Mishawaka Marion territory. Brandon Pruitt going to play college football at Navy. He shows you why. The future midshipman gives West Noble a 7-zip lead. Still in the first quarter, things couldn't have started any better for this West Noble football team. It's fellow senior Josh Gross, and you saw him just carve up that Mishawaka Marion defense early on. West Noble up 14-0. Like I said, you couldn't ask for any better start if you're a Chargers fan, but you know it's not your day when they're completing passes like this. This is Mitchell Florian off the batted ball for the touchdown catch. Mishawaka Marion, that's a good football team. West Noble falls 42-40. Other half of the 3A Sectional 26 bracket, Jimtown at Tippecanoe Valley. Vikings looking for win number 8 on the season. Jimtown, if you know football, you know their history. They're always good. Trey Washington with the touchdown to give Jimtown an early 7-zip lead. 22 seconds now left in the first quarter. It's Jimtown again. You're going to see Clay Campbell with the QB sneak for a score. It was 21-zip at half, and Jimtown ends Tippecanoe Valley's season by a final of 27-6. Jumping to 2A Sectional 35, Lewis hit the ground running last week in a win over Central Noble. A tougher row to hoe against NECC small school champ Eastside. Carter Drake of Lewis with his second field goal of the first half. It was 6-0 Lewis at halftime. Third quarter, they turned things around with this play. Carson Evers, beautiful hands, and he goes all the way back. This ties it at 6-6, and the momentum in this game shifted right there. Fourth quarter, still 6-6. Eastside's defense doing it again. You'll see another interception for the men in green, and that would lead to this, a 58-yard touchdown catch by Wade Miller. And yeah, are you kidding me? It's Eastside taking care of business against Lures. Blazers 13, Knights 6.
It's been great the whole year. I don't even know what to say. It's just crazy. Defense clutched up, big plays on offense. We're staying alive, baby.
I played my heart out. That's all I did. Team played strong. We didn't care what the scoreboard said. We're going to go in and finish the fight.
We've been a notorious slow starting team, and we don't always do it pretty, but we grit and we grind and we make it happen in the end.
That's a great win for the NECC as a conference as well. So who will Eastside get next? Prairie Heights at Fairfield. Falcons stunned Bluffton by 20 at Bluffton last week. They pick up where they left off. This is Dalton Kripe picking up right around 50 yards, and the first down right about the 4-yard line. Later on the drive, Adam Kazar with the touchdown. Fairfield up early 7-zip. They would score early. They would score often. Fairfield ends Prairie Heights season. The Falcons take it 35-0. They'll travel to Eastside next Friday night. 1A sectional 43, second-ranked South Adams hosting number 11 Monroe Central. This is actually a rematch of a Week 5 game that saw the Starfires win by 19 in Parker City. Christian Somerset with the touchdown to make it 7-zip in the first quarter. South Adams. Later, Jackson Olam to Logan Patterson. A little pitch and catch from Monroe Central gets the Golden Bears on the board. 7-6 the game at that point. But Monroe Central wouldn't score again, and South Adams, well, they would. James Arnold to the sophomore. Aiden Warner hauls it in. Later, you're going to see Nick Stuber take it in for the touchdown. South Adams still undefeated. They win it 28-6 and will host Madison Grant next week. 1A sectional 44, Wabash County rivalry game. Undefeated Southwood ranked 3rd in 1A. Northfield solid 6-4 coming in. First quarter action, 4th and goal from the 2. They go for it, and the gambling Norseman, it pays off. Braden Holmes gives Northfield a 7-zip lead. Later in the first, though, is Alex Farr to Carson Rich, and Rich cashing in. 1st and goal from the 9. You're going to see Farr to Rich again for the touchdown, but Southwood suffers its first loss of the season as Northfield with a huge victory, 14-6 men in blue. So who will Northfield play in the sectional title game next week? 4th-ranked Adams Central hosting a 4-6 North Miami squad. End of the second quarter, Nick Neuenschwander with the pick, and we go into the half with a 27-0 lead for the Jets at Minnick Field. Third quarter action. Oh, Michael Mosier, one of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet, but he goes for the jugular there. The onside kick out of the third quarter when they were already up 27-0, and man, these guys just put it away. That's Blake Hirely. We've seen him all season long. You're going to see Hirely do it again. Adams Central wins 48-22. They travel to Northfield next week. We got your gem of the night coming up after this.
We're the Vikings and you're watching the Highlight Zone!
Tonight it was Jeff Becker's world and we were just living in it. How about Jeff Becker with your gem of the night, throwing it up to Tyler Morrison. We're going to see it here as your gem of the night. Touchdown, Carroll. We'll see you back next week for sectional championships.